So there's a rumor going around about PlayStation apparently developing an ultra woke video game. And no, we're not talking about Concord, which is the game that we all know is the ultra woke video game that they're making anyway. It says PlayStation rumored to be developing ultra woke game featuring transgender protagonists complaining about lack of women leaders. You know, the best the best way to get proper female representation is to have a dude in the wig represent women. How crazy is that? That's the world we live in now. Reality is stranger than fiction. Honestly, reality is funnier than fiction too. That's just the way it goes. But that's what it is, man. To get a dude in a wig gives better representation for females. So where is this rumor coming from? Well, let's find out. I already read this article, so I know where it comes from. It comes from a Spanish X account. But this X account, you find out, has access to an actor's kind of like casting call thing. You'll find out here. This rumor comes from Noticias PlayStation account on X, who shared via X's machine translation. A casting for a PlayStation Studios game currently in production would be looking for the following: a girl of about 20 or 30 years old with dark skin and transgender. Knife expert. The story will be about how their culture does not accept women as leaders in their community. But it keeps going. In a subsequent post, the account added, regarding the casting call that I published a few days ago, I would like to clarify some things. It was never a bait. It is 100% real. The info was taken from a page when you have to register to see the casting calls. There are also Ubisoft, Activision, and other SIE games. I claim that it is a PlayStation Studios game because the casting director's history, 99% of the time, worked for SIE. He added, trust me, guys, I will never go into the mud without being 100% sure of things with a sensitive topic like this. This was corroborated by someone called Rhino the Bouncer that says new info. PlayStation 2 Studios is reportedly looking for a new casting for a new game currently in production. The website this information was garnered from was Actors Access. So they got this from something called Actors Access, which allows them to see casting calls for different projects. And this happens to be one of them. So I don't know why they need a knife expert. That one kind of confused me, right? It's bad enough you want a 20 to 30-year-old black trans female, essentially. I mean, you're really going for like the minuscule of the minuscule. You're going for a black trans female. Like, that is just... You'd be better off finding gold, bro, honestly. But we're at this point here. The website describes how projects get cast via its FAQ. A casting director or filmmaker will send us their project information, and we will work with them to get their breakdown prepared for release. They decide where they want it to go, and we release it to agents and managers and/or actors in those regions. It adds agents and managers view projects on BreakdownExpress.com, and actors view projects on ActorsAccess.com. In both cases, the Actors Access profile is submitted for casting to view submissions and select the actors they want to audition. Actors audition via EcoCast self-tape, in person, or through EcoCast Live. Casting works with their collaborators to finalize casting. I mean, how many black trans how many black trans men, well, trans female men pretending to be females, how many are you really going to find that you could get a quality casting? Obviously, you want to audition as many people as possible, but how many dudes are going to be out there faking? I guess a lot. I'm sure there'll probably be a lot of dudes trying to fake their way with a wig just so they could get a position on a game like this for PlayStation. Just to get their foot in the door. I'm telling you, man, don't be shocked by how many people are willing to just do whatever the fuck they got to do to get famous. But I will say this, and I've said this many times before. I'll say two things. Number one, is this game allowed to exist? Absolutely. This game is allowed to exist. Are we allowed to roast this game? Absolutely. We can roast this game for as much as we want because we know this is going to fucking lose money. But I will say this. I am happy that at least they are making their own game instead of co-opting another franchise. The only problem is that they're making their own games while still co-opting other franchises. I would wish that they would fucking stop co-opting other franchises and let gamers have their games, and then you could make this shit for the 5 people that bought Validate. You know what I mean? Like, that's what this game is for. I wish that they would stop that. Then I'd be like, you know what? Okay, great. Make your own game. Perfect. Good luck. I hope your budget's low. Make your own game. But that's not what they're doing. They're taking profits that they make from better games. They're taking profits that they make from games that succeed, like Helldivers 2, for example. And they're taking that money and investing it and subsidizing this absolute fucking garbage that nobody's going to buy. And that's my biggest issue with that. It's subsidizing garbage. Instead of taking the money and using it to produce more better games, you're giving me bullshit. It's just like with Disney. Disney subsidizes their entire entertainment sector with their parks and their real estate. That's how they subsidize garbage. So, again, I got no problem with garbage existing. Go make your own garbage, but stop using money that we give for better products to subsidize it. It's fucking terrible. It's ridiculous. But let's go back to this. So they got the information from 2 different websites, basically casting call websites. So I would say that obviously there's no development yet. I don't think there's any development. I think it's in the early stages where they're trying to brainstorm ideas. But I will say that this is pretty damn corroborated. Is it still a rumor? Obviously, because it's not confirmed by PlayStation. But considering it's on their casting call websites, I would probably say this is pretty damn spot on. So in the near future, we might be able to get a black trans female knife expert who complains about the lack of female leadership. How can you? Oh my God, bro. My brain just hurt. My brain literally just hurt when I thought about this. How can you complain about the lack of female leaders when you yourself are not a female and you're trying to take leadership positions from real females? I just don't. I cannot keep up with the mental gymnastics. I can't keep up with it. It makes no fucking sense. It's like, what are we doing? You should not be the one that's complaining about this. You are the reason why there's a lack of female representation in leadership. It's because whatever positions that a female could have had, you decided to take it because you knew there was no other way you were going to get it.